In the wake of rising concern over the nation's preparedness to tackle a looming food crisis occasioned by prolonged drought, the House Committee on Agriculture invited the National Irrigation Board to provide details on strategies and progress on the implementation of Galana Irrigation Project. The project, whose pilot phase was launched by President Kenyatta early this year, is aimed at putting 1 million acres under irrigation to boost food security in the region. This amount came hours after signing of a 14.5 billion shilling deal between the National Irrigation Board and the Israel fresh produce export company Green Arava, and members expressed concern over the procedure followed to award the company the tender.
Any procurement process must be competitive and must be transparent.
It was felt by the National Irrigation Board that the best person to test out the concepts that were in the feasibility study is none other than the consultant or someone associated, such that you don't get someone coming and starting to dispute that this feasibility study A, B, C, and D was not carried out properly.
The Irrigation Board maintained it followed the law in selection of the consultancy firm, which later recommended that the tender to develop the model farm be awarded to its parent company. But the legislators read mischief in the cost of developing 10,000 acres after the Irrigation Board advised the government to invest an extra 3.5 billion shillings on top of 740 million shillings that had already been disbursed, while the Israel government would fund the remaining 11 billion shillings.
Can you clarify to me what are the terms of reference? Because you already told me that 920 million was meant or is meant to have also developed what? The model farm. How comes now you are demanding another 14 billion?
And that term of reference therefore requested the consultant that if no model farm will have been implemented, then the consultant was to recommend how best to implement that model farm and the technologies that would be used and how it would run.
The government plans to distribute the 1 million acre irrigation project across counties to implement over a period of 5 years. Despite the oversight hurdles facing the model project, the Irrigation Board is confident the implementation will kick off in 12 months. MPs are however worried the public-private partnership approach, in which the government will only provide infrastructure while the private sector invests monies in the farms, might lock out the communities.
But when you talk of private people who are going to run this, while we are already putting in a lot of money as a canvas, what happens in Israel is now the private sector is called Mashaf. It's the one now which does the business on behalf of the country. So we need to be very clear what we are doing, otherwise we're going to lose totally everything.
What will be the status of that particular piece of land, starting with the 10,000 acres, going to the so-called million acres of land? Will it be mortgaged? Because by doing such here, we have to be very careful that we don't mortgage this country.
Next week, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary is expected to appear before the committee as investigations continue. Kevin Wachira, Channel 1 News Hour.